Hello and welcome to a special for Sunny Farm. Sunny Farm, go Sunny Farm. I got this donation, so we're gonna march for Sunny Farms up the mountain. March for the bakers, butchers, nurses, doctors, grocery store clerks, and I got the donation, 2 cans, which one I'm gonna give to my anonymous friend. Sunny Farm, mixed vegetables, product of Canada. So I'm gonna check out Sunny, because I love the sun. Sun is my king, the Pope. Today, another hot day, so that's before December 1st. Great a feast for my Papa Crowley. Great a feast. My Papa Crowley, so we're gonna go as we go to the mountain, up the stairs. Already about 93 minutes. 93 minutes in my march, more or less, about 93 minutes. So we already got a little bit of the exercising, and now we're gonna go for all the way to the top. Anybody want to finance? I go up and down these stairs, and always gratitude, grateful, thankful. Saluting the public bus drivers. Anybody want to finance? Because I'm living in a financial stress. Joyous, content, grateful. Getting fitter, and fitness is one of my obsessive interests. Dancing is my favorite sport, and anybody willingly loving to support this independent ass, we got Asperger's, and artist, athlete, geopolitical analyst, and theorist who rocks and roll 24/7. 24/7 for the farmers, bakers, butchers, nurses, doctors, grocery store clerks, and I'm willingly loving to do some volunteering, to put on some paint. Put on some of their paint. Paint on these stairs. Paint, some blue, some white, some white and red. White and red, my favorite color. Anybody want to finance? I go up and down these stairs. Please, Wall Street, if you make $1 million today. If you make $1 million, give 10% to charity. Here we are. We have entered the mountain, my second home. It is 2:25 p.m. in the EST. Yesterday we went out in the west of Lachine, and now we came out west. When I come from my Dragon's Lair, I come out west, auctioning this Habs hat. I wore it for like, I think almost between 3.5 years and 5 years. Between 3.5 years and 5 years. So I wore it, I marched in it, so I'm auctioning it for $1 million. Gonna give half, that 50% to my anonymous friend, and here we go, rock and roll. On the drill. Grateful, thankful, my rent's paid, electricity bills paid, got food. I got a coffee. Got some leftover coffee at home, and got that can of food. So today, I'm gonna be meditating, going inside, drilling in. And you can see here is the main road, but you know we like to give it in the forest, going deep in the wilderness. My second home here, Mount Royal on the forest. I love to come here, exercise, work, train, and exercise, and march, do push-ups, do squats, and of course, feels so good on the mountain. Just the air so fresh compared to where I'm coming from with the cars and everything like that. You got that fresh air. I require and ask, please do not pollute. When you come here, do not pollute, and gotta get it for that nature, flora, fauna. Super important, flora, fauna. We got those hawks, hawks, my totem bird, the hawk, where the hawk at? And we got those rabbits, the hawks. We got those squirrels. We got the chipmunks. So please do not pollute when you come here. Make an effort to put it in the garbage. Please do not pollute. Here you got some poems. Let's see what that says. So the hidden secret of the mountain is you got poems in the cement, running all about. This says distinguer, distinguish. In French, distinguish. And that says le tracé, like the trace, d'une allée disparue, from a lost alley. So I know this was probably a lost alley, so got different alleyways. You know, this has been here for hundreds of years. So So we gotta get that XYZ, and we gotta get a little bit of that loving. Look at the beautiful flowers, and here the sun shining on the XYZ, and we gotta get it all the way to the top for the butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, grocery store clerks, all involved in the production, distribution of food, railway conductors, choo-choo train who build the trains, 20th century public workers of today. So you can go by that side, you can go different sides like that. And go inside the forest is you can go all the way inside the different forests, and people come with dogs here, and they're joyous, the dogs like this, to come here. And you get just be careful, because there's branches which might fall, there's branches which might fall right here, and we gotta get it on those branches falling, and we gotta be aware of the branches falling. See those branches, you go in the forest, they can see, they're kind of chopped, they can crack. So we gotta get it on the XYZ. So we gotta get it on the drill, and we gotta get it on the now. So we gotta get those chop, and just gotta be prudent. We gotta get that prudence. LOVE, we gotta get it on that X and get it on that YZ right there, and turn my hawk head. And now this is the main road. See. This is the main road. That's where we saw 5 people. One there, and we gotta get it inside, because I go in the deep, and here I gotta be careful, because there's branches. See all the branches. We gotta get it on the XYZ, the branches with that. So that's where we gotta get it on the branches, man. The branches, So you see those branches, they fell, the falling branches on the XYZ. So we gotta get it on the branches right here on the mountain, and here we gotta get it on the branches. We gotta be aware of falling branches right here. So if you venture from the main road into the forest, be prudent. And we got plantation zones. That's why the fence is there, for rehabilitation of nature here, nature rebirth. And this is like my second home, so I love to come here, meditate, and always constantly meditate geopolitical events, because I'm an independent geopolitical analyst and theorist, and meditation's 24/7. But today specifically, the workout meditation is going to be on Sunny Farm. So I'm going to check it out when I go back. Check out the address, because I got 2 cans. Thank you for the donation. It starts with the farmers, food producers of North America unite for the Democratic Republic of North America. Support my dream, which is fundamentally a call for a public-private partnership. I want to send some love, because I'm grateful my rent's paid, electricity bill's paid, we got food and coffee, and I want to send some LOV, because it's not all about fighting. It's not all about fight. You got to get somebody making some of that good love tonight. Good loving hug like you never hugged before. Consent is the main message. What are we fighting for? To save. Otherwise, this civilization, NATO, North America, NATO, NORAD complex. And with LOV, I send a message to my brother, Citizen Bill Blair, If you're going to put on the uniform armed forces, well, you got to go hit those daycares, change some diapers for those changing smelly diapers in the daycares, LOV. Truckers, LOV. Butchers, LOV. Bakers, nurses, doctors, grocery store clerks, all involved in the production, distribution of food. And from the mountain here, we rock and roll, as we should with that. And we always got to get that gratitude 24/7. And hear the majestic trees, helps for build the tree. Sunny Farms. I'm excited to go check, write them an email after I use those mixed vegetables probably over the weekend. So got 2 cans. Sunny Farms here. I think the address is in Quebec. It says product of Canada. So it's, when I say local, usually I refer to the North America, Canada, US, Mexico, because Mexicans are a part of North American complex, what I call as a philosopher, the great North American civilizational complex. As I venture out here in my second home, we drill it over time, every time, rock and roll, all obsessive interests. I got that Asperger's, so I have echolele as a symptom of getting too close, breaching personal space with citizens. We don't have that social awareness. We're neurodivergent. It's being an Aspie is not being mentally ill. It is, of course, a neurological, mental, psychic divergent condition, which makes me predisposed to obsessive interests. And my obsessive interest, my holy trinity, is, of course, geopolitics 24/7, geopolitics 24/7, geopolitics 24/7, geopolitics, the study of geopolitics, and I'm an independent geopolitical analyst and theorist. And of course, fitness, sports, dancing is my favorite sport. I love dancing. That's my favorite sport. And That's what I love to do. That's what I love to do. That's what I love to do. And I gotta get it on the XYZ. So we gotta go on the top, and we gotta go change our route, change our route, change our route, change our route, change our route here and there, here and there. No. We gotta get it on the XYZ, and we gotta be mindful and grateful for that. And I'm mindful, grateful here for these beautiful flowers. Beautiful flowers, beautiful flowers. And we gotta get it on that. Wow, look at these beautiful flowers. You gotta remark sometimes just the beauty of Mother Nature. Gotta sniff a little bit, sniff. Oh, sniff a little bit, and that's what we gotta do on that. You can't bring it home. It's here in nature, so sometimes we just gotta go and explore and see the great part here, which is right here, the great part, which is the deep forest, and you get so many things, so many layers of nature and the wilderness. We gotta get that wild, and we gotta mix it with civilization and nature. And if you want what I have, first and foremost, kisses I got by the trillions of kisses. Although financially struggling, I'm financially stressed and struggling at the moment. I am financially stressed and struggling at the moment. I am financially stressed and struggling at the moment. I am financially stressed and struggling at the moment. But gotta be grateful. Thank you to my friend who gifted this great shirt about I was starting my fitness journey about 7 years ago. I'm auctioning it for $7 million, auctioning everything that I'm wearing, the shoes, the underwear, $1 million each, make an offer, blah blah. Gonna give 50% to my anonymous friend. I'm still celebrating today until the weekend, so today and tomorrow. 7 years ago, and I crossed out Canada. I was depressed and suicidal before that, and crossed Canada coast to coast, and then I crossed it. Of course, what was it, in August, and of course September, and August and September. So that's when I crossed Canada coast to coast, and that's when I had a realization, kind of an awakening, and that's when I realized that so many things to do, so many things to see, to do across the complex of North American Canadian complex, and see the tourists there on the main road. And I venture out a little bit, but when I crossed Canada coast to coast, that event made me come out of my depression and being suicidal, because I was depressed, I was suicidal, and I got out of being depressed and suicidal when I crossed Canada coast to coast, 7 years ago, marking the celebration in August, September, until the 20th, because I think on the 20th, 21st, came back from Halifax. In August, I went in August it was August 2017, went to British Columbia, BC, British Columbia, Vancouver. So then I crossed Canada. I came by bus, went by bus, 3.5 days with an anonymous friend, and then I went back, and then came back here in September, went to Halifax. So that event in my life made me come out of being depressed and suicidal. I said so many things to see, to do. So I heard a crack, see? Sometimes they crack from above, see? So you gotta be prudent if you go in, Yeah, that was a crack, definitely. That was a crack, definitely. So XYZ, so yeah, see? Yeah, you just gotta be careful, even here, but mostly in the woods. That one's about to crack, see? So they fall, they crack, so if you go in, just be prudent. Back to what I was saying as a story, but to what I was saying as a story is, of course, I was depressed, suicidal, came out of being depressed and suicidal, so that's what it is, rock and roll here on the mountain. And we gotta get it on the draw for that North American collective union, man. We gotta get together, act together, implement my Trinity of theories, and we gotta go for that XYZ. And we gotta, of course, be mindful and meditate, of course, on all the privileges of civilizations which we have now. Civilization is a privilege. Just for me to drink that water there, it's gonna be a little civilization of privilege. So think about all the workers in the public who build it underneath, and all the way to the top of the mountain to have that aqueducts, clean water, running water here. All the layers and the work underneath it was done. That was a lot of work, man. A lot of work with that, So that's what they did, a lot of work with that. So I gotta be mindful about all the public works that's ongoing now. And of course now, as I'm speaking, we got public workers, of course, changing the aqueducts, changing the sewers, of course, aqueducts, sewers, all the work underneath now across North America, farmers, love to our firefighters, farmers, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors. Imagine all the workers now, you know, as the people's heart has got a rock and roll for the butchers, the bakers, all those changing some diapers in the daycares, along with the truckers, those on the roads now, coast to coast, ocean to ocean, all the activity of the North American Collective complex that's undergoing now, from the cooking to the survey to the public workers, changing up the aqueducts, to of course all the sanitation and public sanitations, which we of course we gotta increase ourselves, you know. Just think about that as I'm gonna be doing a bit of hydration. So I'm gonna drink my water and then I'm gonna fill it up from here. And a little request, I would love to get this painted. So bring me the paint, the permission, and the paint, and I'll paint the benches here, the benches and the lions. Lions, they gotta need painting, some orange, some red, some green, some color here, because they're kind of gray, you know. So I'm willing to put the paint. Just bring me the permission, the tools, the paint. I'll do the volunteering, because it's not just for me, it's for us, you know. It's for us. So we gotta do it on the XYZ, and that's what we gotta be doing with that, and that's what we gotta doing for the XYZ, and we still gotta be doing on the hydration for the XYZ and the LOV and the farmers, the butchers, the bakers. Sunny Farms today. Gonna be hydrating, drinking all of this. Oh, oh yeah. Whew. It's hot day today also. It's 3 more days of summer. Sunday's autumn. So today, Friday, Saturday, that's what it is, you know. A few more days of summer. So officially it's gonna be Sunday is gonna be the first day of autumn, right? Sunday is the first day of autumn. Sunday. So today, Friday, Saturday, so 3 days, I guess, 3 more days. So coming here in nature, you know, makes me joyous. I've been coming here for years, like my second home. And I love to go deep in the forest. You know, I don't spend much time on the main roads, because I spend enough times on the main roads when I'm coming here, when I'm going back. So these are the main roads like that, you know. So see, those are the main roads. But if you venture in the forest, then you gotta be careful, because there's branches falling, branches. That's good. And I gotta say a little shout out to these beautiful flowers here. I like it. Beautiful. I like it. Here I gotta be careful, because of course I gotta cross the streets here safely. I gotta check for those coming here with the buses. Gotta get it for the XYZ. Cause see, for those tourists, always love to guide tourists. They come from the Belvedere, which is my second favorite spot. Well, actually, it's my favorite spot there, the Belvedere. But this whole place is Mount Road is my second home. I gotta see some of the tourists, where they're from. Tourists coming here, joining with us, and getting a little bit of that. From Ontario. Montreal City. Where are you guys coming from? From the United States? We gotta get a song with that rock and roll. They're coming from the United States, man. I love it when they come here. Let's see what it is. Let's see what it is with that. So we gotta get drilling on the XYZ, and we gotta get drilling for the dot, you know. So that's all we gotta get drilling with that. And we gotta get drilling on the XYZ, XYZ, XYZ. That's what we gotta do, get it on that. So we gotta go drilling, man. Good for you. Come in here, get a little bit of that exercise, get a little bit of that exercise, get a little bit of that go. And they went to see the mountains, so always fun to see senior citizens, senior citizens, senior citizens, senior citizens, senior citizens. Senior citizens, senior citizens, senior citizens right here getting a little bit of that drill, man. That's all we gotta get doing with that. So, hey, good for you. They're coming from that house in Ontario. Where are they coming from? And they gotta get it on the go, man. That's good for them, man. Visiting Montreal. It's always nice to see people visiting. Always nice to see people visiting and coming here a little bit with that. And gotta get it for the XYZ. You see, we gotta get a little bit of that, man. A little bit of these beautiful flowers and senior citizens. Welcome to Montreal. I'm always eager to talk to some tourists about Hydro-Quebec, about urging them to eat local. I always like to urge this, but I'm not sure they spoke any English or French, but sometimes I can speak Spanish, but maybe a little bit from, who knows, from Europe. But I'm always curious, tourists, you know. I always love to talk about Montreal and talk about Hydro-Quebec. Encourage them to please only buy while they're here in Canada, to only eat Canadian Quebec made products and cheese and bacon and sweets and all the products. Anyways, nice, man. I always love to discuss to tourists, but sometimes I have to let them know I have Asperger's. So as I go up in the forest now, please be careful. Be careful, be careful. Watch the trees. Watch the falling trees, you know. Watch the falling trees, the branches. See, like branches like this, those are not stable. So you gotta be over. See these ones. These branches were all here on the side, right? So we tossed them to the side. But see, those are dangerous. So I experienced it 5 times already. I've experienced it 5 times. 5 times I've experienced 5 times. 5 times I experienced it myself. It wasn't that close. Closest was like 44.9 yards. Closest was like 44.9 yards. Closest was like 44.9 yards. So you got to get on that drill over here. And I want to discuss the DRT, but again, today I'm marching for Sunny Farms specifically, but always for the youth, for the firefighters, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, all day, all 24/7 doing geopolitical meditations and everything that's undergoing now across the North American civilizational complex, across the complex of North American civilization, across North America here. See, those branches are about to pop. And here they fall left to right, they fall. So we gotta get it on that drill there. So that's how we gotta get doing. And please do not pollute. Gotta watch it with the back, you know, so backpack. This has to be put in the recycling, so this could be swallowed, eaten by a rabbit, a bunny, by a chipmunk, by even a hawk might come down, get it? Chipmunk, rabbits. A lot of flora fauna we have here, so please do not leave that here in the forest and put it in the garbage if it goes in the garbage, in the recycling if it goes in the recycling. And that's about it, that's all. And again, see all these branches after the storm, sometimes they fall, so they fall. See, like this one was closed, this one was tossed. See, this one fell recently. Branches over here, over there. So you hear the crack. See this one, see, look at that one. See this one right here. This one is dangerous. This one is about to crack. It's staying very unstable. Very unstable. So I would put some signs there. See that one? This one right here, it's cracked already, but it's staying on the other one. So this one, there's danger for somebody. So, you know, if I would be here, I would try to get it out. So, you know, for the safety of others. See, it's not stable. So we should put some signs. If you venture in the forest, beware about potential of falling branches down uncracked, and we got branches which fall. So if you come here, be aware of the possibility of branches falling. If you venture in the forest for the safety, I gotta be myself, of course, aware, and be ready to rock and roll. If so, I hear the sound of the cracking, look up and see. It was like almost simulate like a war zone, you know. So it's you gotta be able to move fast and look up and down, and you got these branches. See, look how many branches fell. Some of them were from the sides right there. Proof, and just be aware, be mindful if you venture out like yours truly does here in the wilderness, in the forest. Be mindful, and you got some mushrooms, lots of mushrooms here and there, left side, right side, and I'm not a connoisseur in mushrooms, so I would advise if you don't touch them, but whatever the case may be, with somebody who knows. Whoop, I just heard a branch fall, so you gotta be prudent, gotta be careful. Be prudent, be careful. Of course, marching today, meditating for Sunny Farms specifically. Specific farms, Sunny Farms of Canada. Because I got 2 cans donated earlier today, this morning, from a local community food pantry. Food security starts with the farmers, food producers of North Americans Unite, support the Dragon Army, Dancing Artist Army, my dream for a public-private partnership across the North American Civilisation Collective complex. LOV to our firefighters, LOV to our butchers, LOV to our construction workers, bus drivers, school teachers, elementary school teachers, mathematics teachers, all those involved in the production and distribution of food. We gotta go for that XYZ, and we gotta go on that joy, man. And I'm joyous now, so we gotta go on that drill. So we gotta, of course, always be careful about how myself included, put on my feet up, go up, on my feet down, go down, and that's how we gotta go do it on the XYZ. So there's always something which we gotta preclude, and something which we gotta do, and something which we gotta be aware of. Privilege of civilization here in nature. Civilization gotta dance, go for Sunny Farms, go. Farmers of Quebec, Canada, local North America. North Americans unite, North Americans unite, North Americans unite. Here we're on the main road. On the main road, we're not gonna stay long on the main road. We're just gonna circumvent and go by the side here. We gotta go on the right side. Just like driving, you know? Just like driving, I gotta stay on the right side and go on the top, go down, just like driving here. The main roads are here. Mostly people stay here on the main roads. See, most people are there, and I always advise if people take that route to be careful to go down, because it's steep, and I've always gotta warn people there. We should put some signs of be careful for falling branches, because in the French and English, I would put that to the entrances, not on the main road that much, because you see it's more clear sky here. But although there is some, here too, there's maybe at the entrance in the parking lots, some entrances around there. Be careful of falling branches. It's something as a concern for fellow citizens to be aware of and mindful of, that we got potential for falling branches there, safe, holding hands safely there. We gotta be able to XYZ on that, so XYZ with that. So that's what we gotta be doing on the drill, and that's what we gotta be doing on the consciousness with our fellow citizens for my individual liberty, yours. It's always gotta be secured together, be secured. And I come here, of course, summer. Still 3 days of summer, spring, winter, spring, summer. Come here on the go. So that's why we gotta keep going with that, and we gotta keep going and be mindful of that situational awareness. And we got there a cul-de-sac, and be mindful of those. Changing leaves, man. Changing leaves. Oh, they blocked here. Salut. J'adore ton rouge. Mais c'est ma couleur préférée, là, fait que... Ouais, mais parce que t'as la casquette rouge.
Ah, j'ai tout qui est rouge aujourd'hui.
T'as rouge.
Puis ça aussi, ça me rend rouge.
Fait que tu fais bien comme moi-même, j'adore la couleur, là. I love red.
oui, c'est vrai que t'es pas mal en rouge aussi, toi.
So what I said, bye bye, ciao ciao. So what I basically said is that I love red because he's all red there, you know. So we gotta get it on the XYZ, and you know I always love to see bikeists and cyclists. It's something which I love. People when I see people working out here, I always encourage them to do some more exercise and get that sweat, get that sweat, get that sweat, get that sweat, buddy. So it's always good to encourage, and we gotta do it on the red, man. On the red side, so we gotta get it on the LYZ and being mindful of our safety, our security, his liberty, my liberty, he's red, and we gotta go on that XYZ, and we always gotta be mindful of our privilege, which is right here, the mountain with the sun shining, and we gotta be mindful of this beauty, and the beast here. Some might say this is an abomination, but in a parallel life, I build abominations like this, scientific, technological abominations in a parallel life. I also have Asperger's, but I'm a super scientist. I design, build supercomputers, satellites, microchips, anything to do with antennas, everything to do with telecommunication, science and technology and physics. That's what I do in a parallel life. I also have Asperger's and Aspies like myself. We have obsessive interests. And my obsessive interests are, of course, in this life, geopolitics 24/7. Geopolitics 24/7. We got geopolitics, and I'm an independent geopolitical honest and theorist, and gotta check me some of that beautiful abomination, man. Look at that thing right there, man. There's a beautiful abomination. Wow, super nice. Imagine how many things it took to build it. I don't know, but I'm always mindful. So we gotta go on that drill with that, man. Gotta get it on that drill with that. So we gotta go on that mindful meditation with that, man. So in a parallel life, that's what I do. Build supercomputers, microchips, gadgets like that. Oh, somebody trying to get into my eye. A little bug. Leave my eyes alone. Alone. Gotta get that ice, man. Sometimes my eyes get this thing's trying to get into my eyes. So I say, leave my eyes alone. Grabs you by the testes. Testes. Gotta get back to health, man. So I encourage you all to get that working out, training, exercising, and gotta get it for the go. So gotta advise people to hello. Be careful, if you venture in the forest, sometimes the branches fall. Parlez-vous anglais?
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
English, okay. Just be careful if you guys stay in the forest a lot. Just be mindful, because I've experienced it myself. Sometimes for your security and safety, the branches have a tendency to fall, as you can see on the side. So just be extra prudent and careful.
Thank you. Merci.
Bienvenue, ça m'a fait plaisir. Where are you guys from? Texas! I was there in a past life up in Dallas, but I don't like the Cowboys. I like the 49ers.
The Canadians, or at least here, like 49ers. You know, we spoke to a lady yesterday, same way.
No. Me, it's related to a past life. I believe in reincarnations. You know, I was born in the United States 3 times in past lives between 1776 and 1984.
Nice.
So I don't know if you guys are into that belief or not. You know George Patton, the general? George Patton wrote one of my favorite poems called Through a Glass Darkly.
Yeah, he believed in that too, didn't he?
He believed in reincarnations, George Patton. So I also do, and I was roaming around San Francisco. So I have a connection from past lives.
Ah, nice.
That's why.
I see it.
Please, one request. Please, when you're here, for the duration of your stay here, please only eat local Canadian Quebec food.
That's what we're hoping
That's what we're doing,
for.
trying to.
We had
Please.
a Airbnb to stay in, and we talked to the girl, and she's in Quebec City, but she was from here, so she told us about a place to eat. So
Yeah. And try if you drink alcoholic beverages or whatever, try our local Quebec beer, please. Try our local Quebec cheeses. Try everything in Quebec. And before I go, one more thing. Do you guys know that while you guys are here, all the electricity that you're utilizing for your shower, for your electronics, is clean, zero pollution, zero emissions?
Yeah.
You knew?
Water.
Hydro water, yeah.
yeah, there.
That's right. Love you guys. Stay safe and Again, just if you venture more into the woods and not stay on the main road, just
Be careful.
Just watch. Thank you. That's good.
be prudent, because
Yes.
branches sometimes have a tendency to fall. They're from.
You be safe and good. Thank you.
Bye, be well. So that's important there for them to get, to know the forest, because they get to know the forest, and they gotta get around the forest to know, and they gotta get around the forest on the XYZ, and that's all what we gotta do with that. They're from Texas, and they got a little bit of that Texas love, and I got a LOV, my brothers and sisters from Texas over there, and I gotta send them some love while they're here, man. Cause see those branches here? See these branches? They fall. So when you come here, like this, and you hear the cracks, you gotta be aware. You have to move. You have to move like Chuck, So be aware of the branches. That's all. That's it. That's all. See, like this one. This one cracked. Imagine. Look at that. See that branch? That's proof there. So you don't want that falling on anybody. You don't want that falling on anybody. You don't want that falling on anybody. Anybody. I mean, we're not enemies here, North Americans. We gotta go that coast to coast, and we gotta channel the aggression. We have violence and aggression needs to be channeled. Do workout, train, and exercise. Workout, train, and exercise. Workout, train, and exercise. Myself with Asperger's, being androgynous pansexual with Asperger's, I forgot to mention to them that I have Asperger's, but I have a tendency to. But maybe I save them sometimes. If a branch falls and they're moving like football, and gotta be careful. See, you see that one fell. So you have falling branches here. Just gotta be aware of that. Just gotta be mindful. Anyways, not to be too obsessed about it, but I have experiences. You see past my past videos, you hear sometimes on the video, and you hear the crack, and in one video even you see it falling from down there, and you see it falling from down here. See that one? Anyways, now I gotta discuss the DRT, of course, the DRT, the debt refusion theory, of course, for the creation of the UE, the universal exchange unit, the universal exchange, and the creation of the UE for the universal exchange unit, the universal exchange unit, the universal exchange unit, universal exchange unit, the universal exchange unit. So it's always something which I gotta be mindful of myself, and I gotta be mindful here in the forest that we got these tendencies and we got these problems here, which are falling branches, potential for somebody to get hurt. And I always mention it to fellow citizens that be careful, look up, and be careful, because they have a tendency to fall, so branches, man, that happens sometimes. So I gotta be mindful myself, just for prudence. And now I'm gonna discuss the DRT. Super important for me to discuss the DRT before I forget. So the debt refusion theory is the only solution, financial solution, that can save us now where we are with the public finances. And I'm gonna discuss the DRT right now. Although I'm gonna do a little bit, a minute of meditation. I'm gonna get back to. Oh, see, that's a branch, small one, but that's a branch. That's a branch. That's a branch. Oh yeah, we got movement. Oh, gotta be careful. Alright, finally I'm gonna discuss the DRT. The DRT is gonna be the only, and it is the only solution. The reason why I make that statement is because my brothers and sisters, today we pay 46.5 billion in interest. So I'm gonna repeat how much we pay in interest on the public debt, on the public debt, on the public debt. So the interest is the problem. So we pay 46.5 billion. That is 46,000 million. A billion has 9 zeros. That's 46,000 million. That's how much interest we pay on the public debt, on the public debt, on the public debt. That's how much interest we pay on the public debt. In 2020-2021 fiscal year, we paid 20.3 billion. 20.3 billion, that's 20,300 million. That's how much we paid in interest. Now we pay 46.5 billion, 46.5 billion, 46.5 billion. That's how much we pay in interest. Only the interest, not the debt original. The amount of interest, the debt servicing is in other words, the interest we pay. You can check out these numbers. I'm not making them up. You can check the Bank of Canada. Write an email to Mackler, Mr. Citizen, Executive Director, Governor of the Bank of Canada. We pay 46.5 billion in interest. Billion. 2024. These numbers you can check. I got proof of the pictures and what have you. So we pay 46.5 billion in interest. There's no other solution but my DRT. It stands for debt refusion theory. D for debt, R for refusion, T for theory. And keep in mind that my theory also includes what's called in finance monetary integration theory. Monetary integration theory is exactly what was done in the European Union. The Europeans, the Germans got rid of the German central bank and their old currency known as the Deutschmark. The Italians got rid of the lira and of course got rid of their old central bank. The French got rid of their franc and their old central bank. And of course, the fourth dimension, they created the European central bank and a common currency known as the euro. So my DRT also includes monetary integration theory, which is exactly what was done in the European Union, The debt refusion theory, the D, debt refusion theory. That's what it is. The D for debt, R for refusion, T for theory. The debt refusion theory, that's what they did, that's what they created in the European Union. So my debt refusion theory includes monetary integration theory, which is the financial monetary integration theory, is the financial theory which they did in Europe in the 90s by the creation of a common currency and the creation of a common central bank known as the ECB, the European Central Bank. So my DRT stands for debt refusion theory. And it includes, within my theory, it's included monetary integration theory, which is what they did in Europe by the creation of the ECB and the creation of a common currency known as the euro. They let go of their old currency. So we're going to do the same. But we're going to do it differently because my DRT is a bit different. Because of the situation we are in now. 2024, there's no other solution but the DRT. You can argue left, you can argue right, center. My brothers and sisters in a nonpartisan democratic republican centrist public-private partnership-based initiatives is my centrism for the North American civilizational complex, for North America, Canada, US. Jointly, we're gonna do the DRT. We have to implement the DRT, the debt refusion. We pay 46.5 billion in interest. Sure, it more than doubled due to the fact that we had the COVID protocols to be initiated into the COVID situation, to the unprecedented health crises which we lived before. Prior, we had lived in a health crisis, and of course, COVID. I had COVID. It was like death, pestilence, and disease. It was like death, pestilence, and disease. I know death, pestilence, and disease sounds like a rock and roll hardcore 1980s hardcore metal, but as much as I like rock and roll, I survived COVID, February 2020, February, March 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 2020. I had COVID, so here we are, rock and roll Fundo drill, and we got to get it on the XYZ, and we got to get it for now, So the DRT is the only solution. So debt, R refusion theory, the debt refusion theory is the only solution. As much as you will to argue, there's no arguing in this one. So we have to implement it. I'm going to now explain it the simplest way possible that I can, because due to Asperger's, I have a tendency to use overly sophisticated, academic, pluralistic, and overly intellectual and verbose linguistics. So I'm going to try to be simple. So we're going to take all the public-private debt. This is the DRT explained. My $10,500, I got about $10,000 in debt as a private citizen. my debt is about $10,000 Canadian. So we're gonna take my debt, your debt, coast to coast, all the public-private debt. We're gonna add it all up. We're gonna convert it to US dollars because the United States dollar still is the international currency for world trade, global business, import, export, global affairs, world tourism, all these 5 plus more. So the United States dollar still is the currency of trade for world business, international commerce, global trade, import, export, global affairs. So still is the currency of choice for these things. So we're gonna take all the public-private debt and then we're gonna create a global. Hello. You guys speak English?
Yeah.
Be careful if you go further in the forest because sometimes there's the tendencies of the branches to fall, guys.
Okay.
So,
what do you have?
pour votre sécurité, je vous dis, vous parlez français mieux.
Oui.
Faites attention, mes chers, parce que des fois, il y a des branches qui tombent, comme vous voyez ici. Là. Fait que quand vous allez, si vous continuez dans la forêt, là, parce que moi, c'est comme chez nous, je la connais, la forêt. Là.
Okay.
Fait que faites attention parce que c'est possible que ça tombe d'en haut.
Okay.
Fait que pour votre sécurité, là, soyez prudents. Si vous attendez de quoi, ben, soyez prêts à rock&roll.
Ok. Il y a quoi au fond
Ah oui, ben, c'est la forêt, puis le belvédère.
Ouais, par là-bas, ok.
Ah, je vous dirige, le belvédère. Comme ça, je vais vous montrer c'est où, puis moi, je vais continuer par là. Vous venez de quel bout?
On est de France, en Bretagne.
Ah ouais. Première fois au Québec?
On est arrivé à 13h.
Sérieusement?
Ouais, on est arrivé, ouais.
La première fois que vous venez dans la province?
Ouais. On se balade.
Ben, bienvenue dans la forêt au Québec.
Merci, c'est un peu perdu là.
De chez nous, de la belle province, ils ont traversé l'océan.
Ouais.
Pour venir nous voir, chez nous, chez moi. Vous voyez ça? C'est pour ça que je vous dis, les branches comme ça, là, ça tombe. Fait que moi, je la connais, je viens souvent ici. Là. Fait que quand je vois du monde, que je vois pour la première fois, je vous dis de faire attention. Continuez tout droit méchant comme ça, je vais vous montrer vraiment, puis vous allez voir la ville de Montréal.
C'est vrai?
C'est la meilleure vue au monde. Vous avez jamais vu quelque chose comme ça auparavant, là? C'est ma place préférée. Vous voyez ces branches ici?
Ouais, tout tombe.
C'est ça. C'est là, check ça. Tu vois ça? Tu veux pas que ça tombe sur toi, ça?
Non.
C'est pour ça que je dis au monde, tu sais, puis je parle anglais aussi, fait que... je l'ai vécu moi-même. C'est tombé comme sur le côté, là. Puis c'était pas tombé sur moi, là, mais juste, il y a 2 mois, j'entends, je vois, la branche tombe. Ouf! J'ai été sauvé. OK, fait que je vous dirige. Vous continuez tout droit comme ça.
Ok.
Tout droit. Tout droit. Ne déviez pas à la droite, à la gauche ici.
Ok.
Comme juste aller comme ça, je vais vous montrer. Puis vous allez voir le chalet Belvédère, vous allez voir la montagne, les montagnes, vous allez voir le centre-ville de Montréal.
Ok.
C'est vraiment une vue incroyable. Là.
Sympa. On va voir ça. Là, vous êtes en fond?
Non, je faisais du rock&roll, je faisais de la méditation, puis je me cherche pour m'acheter un GoPro, là, fait que...
D'accord.
Qu'est-ce qui vous amène au Québec?
On a un copain qui habite ici
Québec!
depuis 2 ans, là, donc...
Ok.
Je fais un marathon, du coup, dimanche, du Montréal. Là.
Oh, c'est bon, ça? Bravo. Bon. Puis s'il vous plaît, je vous demande, juste quand vous êtes ici, juste consommer du Québec.
Ouais.
Juste des produits du Québec, s'il vous plaît. Ouais. La viande, le fromage, la bière, tout ça. Local.
Ah bah oui.
S'il vous plaît.
Ah bah oui.
Une petite demande.
Ah non, c'est le minimum.
Juste produits du Québec. Puis, vous savez qu'ici, l'énergie, ça vient tout, c'est électrique, hein? C'est Hydro-Québec, ça.
Ok.
Fait que toute l'énergie que vous allez consommer, ça ne pollue pas pendant tout. Ouais. Tout droit méchant.
Ok.
Continuez. Vous allez commencer à voir la ville.
Ok.
Puis moi, je me retourne dans la forêt.
Ça marche, merci beaucoup. Merci.
Ça fait plaisir.
Vous avez des petites adresses à conseiller ou pas?
Des quoi?
Des restaurants, des...
Ah, il y en a tellement. Au Vieux-Port.
Ouais,
au Vieux-Port, ça dépend qu'est-ce que vous aimez. Si vous avez des allergies véganes, pas du tout. Comme moi aussi j'en bouffe de tout. Oh, allez au Vieux-Port, vous allez avoir...
Ok, ça marche.
Vous allez avoir une bonne cuisine de partout dans le monde, puis du Québec aussi. Ouais, puis buvez de la bière du Québec, je vous conseille d'essayer la Unibrou.
Okay.
C'est une bière québécoise, ou la Maudite. La Maudite est un peu forte, là.
Okay.
Mais la bière Unibrou du Québec. Unibrou, c'est le nom de la compagnie. Unibrou, U-N-I-B-R-O-U. Unibrou.
Okay.
C'est du Québec. Fait continuez comme ça, Michel. Puis encore une fois, si vous retournez dans la forêt, s'il vous plaît, faites attention. Il y a un chalet pour le café.
Ah, ok.
Je vais prendre du repos. Puis...
Pour de la bière ou pas?
De quoi?
Il y a de la bière au chalet ou pas?
Ah, la bière, non, j'en ai pas. Vous avez-tu des... vous êtes-tu en couple? Vous avez-tu des copines?
Ouais.
Moi, j'aime ça faire
oui,
du matchmaking. Toi, t'en as? Toi, t'en as pas?
Non.
Fait que je vais te souhaiter que tu trouves une Québécoise ou je sais pas... T'es-tu bisexuel ou je sais pas, gay ou... Ok, fait que je vais te souhaiter que tu trouves une Québécoise amoureux pour faire un peu d'amour. Hey, salut les gars! Ciao, ciao! Tu vas en rencontrer une demain soir. Ciao, ciao! Elle va porter le rouge! Anyways, I love to make matchmaking, so that's why I get for my safety here my children here. My children, they gotta get that French, man, and they're from France, and we gotta get on that goal for them, you know, because I'm going back in the forest, so I want them healthy, and that's why I told them, be careful, guys, because you don't want these branches falling on you. We're gonna switch to that French, and I always love to say to people when they get here to be careful, extra prudent, to be careful, because there's branches falling on them. Be careful. You know, he's single, so I said I'm gonna wish you to find a Quebecer, a Quebecoise. You're gonna find somebody for maybe part-time. I like to matchmake, so I was joking. I said tomorrow, actually I said Saturday, you're gonna find somebody wearing red, my favorite color, but you know, I mean, it's just ask anything. But with Asperger's, sometimes I'm not, not aware about. I don't mean to offend. It's just we're not aware of that. Sometimes that we can offend, with Asperger's, or just let us know that directly, Sometimes it's better. Us Asperger's, we gotta be told directly, like you speak too much, or maybe that's what we do. Asperger's, it's something I live with. I'm socially weird, but I rather see people making that good loving and having a good time here and spreading Quebec with us, spending some of that good time in Quebec. Anyways, that's what it is, and that's what we gotta do on that. LOV, now I'm gonna be back to the DRT. Super important that I discuss again the DRT, as I'm gonna be going again to go get that hydration, and after the DRT it's 316, and we're gonna discuss the DRT. Finally, we're gonna switch to that French because we're in La Belle Province, and the DRT again stands for D for death, R refusion, T for theory. So the death refusion theory stands for D for death refusion theory. Inside the DRT also includes monetary integration theory. Monetary integration theory. So the DRT includes within it monetary integration theory. Monetary integration theory. So the DRT stands for death, R refusion, T for theory. The DRT, death refusion theory, DRT, death refusion theory, DRT, death refusion theory. The D stands for death. Whoa, look at those mushrooms yet! 44 mushrooms clustered, 44 mushrooms clustered. So the DRT stands for D for death, R for refusion, T for theory. So D for death, R refusion, T for theory. D for death, R for refusion. Oh, that's a chipmunk. D for death, R for refusion, T for theory. So I'm gonna explain it now. As I march towards the sun, always best here from the mountain. So the D, death, R refusion, T for theory. So that's where we're gonna go get it, and I'm gonna discuss the DRT by going by that side, and then maybe we're gonna go to the Belvedere by another side. We'll see which we can switch, So D stands for death, R for refusion, T for theory, and it also includes monetary integration theory. Monetary integration theory is exactly the theory which they did in the European Union. So they were from Europe, the tourists from France, first time in Quebec, and of course they have the euro. So the DRT, debt refusion theory, includes monetary integration theory, which is exactly what was done in the European Union with the creation of the euro. So my DRT, debt refusal decree, includes that theory. So we're gonna take all the public and the private debt. So my debt, your debt, our debt, my debt, their debt, coast to coast. That because the United States dollar still is the currency of choice for world trade, international business, global commerce, international finance, tourism. We're gonna convert all the public-private debt of Canada into US dollars, into United States dollars, into United States dollars, into United States dollars, into United States dollars. Well, there's a marmot, in the United States dollars, in the United States dollars. So we're gonna take all the public-private debt, we're gonna create it, all the public and the private debt, and we're gonna create it, and we're gonna convert it to US dollars. All the public-private debt, including my $10,000 of Canada, my $10,000, my $10,000, my $10,000, yours, ours, all coast to coast, all the debt, public and private debt. That debt we're gonna convert it to US dollars. That debt we're gonna create it to US dollars. That debt we're gonna create it to US dollars. That debt we're gonna create it. We're gonna convert it to US dollars. We're gonna convert it to US dollars. US dollars, US dollars, US dollars. We're gonna convert it to United States dollars. To United States dollars, United States dollars. To US dollars. We're gonna create it. We're gonna convert it to US dollars. All the debt, public and private debt, we're gonna convert it to US dollars. To US dollars, to US dollars. To US dollars, to US dollars. So all the public private debt, we're gonna convert it to US dollars. US dollars, US dollars. All the public private debt. All that number, public private debt of Canada converted to US dollars, it's gonna be the initial money supply for a new central bank. For a new central bank. A new central bank, a new central bank. Whatever that number is gonna be in the trillions, is gonna be the new currency which we're gonna create, and it's gonna be called the UE. So we're gonna create a new central bank. So all the public-private debt converted to US dollar of Canada, we're gonna be the initial money supply. Canada first, we're gonna unite it, add it all up with the debt of the United States. Mexico is part of North American Civilization complex, part of North America. Haiti, Dominican Republic, and Canada first, Canada, US first. Then we can expand it to Mexico, they're part of North America, if they will to make this. It could be also transatlantic, but first and foremost, Canada, US. Canada. And first, public-private debt, we're going to convert it to US dollars. We're going to create a currency called the UE. UE stands for Universal U dot, Universal E dot Exchange Unit. Universal U dot E dot Exchange Unit. The Universal Exchange Unit. U dot Universal E dot Exchange Unit. The UE. U dot Universal E dot Exchange Unit. The UE. U dot Universal E dot Exchange Unit. The UE. The UE. We're gonna create the UE. The Universal Exchange Unit. The Universal Exchange Unit. The Universal Exchange, we're gonna go back by the forest. Well, by the side. So that's money. We're gonna create the UE. U dot Universal E dot Exchange Unit. The UE. That's what we're gonna do. Oh, please don't leave stuff like this. Oh no, this is no good. This has to be recycled. I don't mind. I love you guys consuming, but this has to be. I love red, but this destroys the flora, fauna. So see, there's nothing in it. You didn't leave me any. I wish I could have some money. I'll go. Gotta check my calories because I'm on a fitness journey from 7 years ago. Survived COVID. You know, got that raw retrograde amnesia, but you know, so rah. This has to be recycled. So please, this will kill a chipmunk, kill a rabbit, kill a groundhog, destroy lots of flora, especially if it melts, it rains, and all that chemicals goes in it. So let's see. Where's that? Has to be recycled. Yeah, I know Canada, blah blah, but it's corporate. But we gotta get that DRT. Recyclable. Made of 100% recycled content. But it's not compostable. Made of 100% And that's a poem there. You can check out that poem. See, that's a poem. See, that's a poem. Made of 100% recyclable content, but it has to be recycled. It has to be recycled. So I'm gonna do it, but please, I don't mind. Enjoy. You hope you enjoyed whatever the content was, and it's kind of clean for recycling. I'm just gonna blow a little bit on it because it's just dirt on it. It's probably been there for like 5 days. Oh yeah, perfect. I can recycle it now. It's made already of recyclable content, but see, we gotta do our individual part, brothers and sisters. And please, I noticed the other day I got upset. There was food inside the recycling. We got food. The food items gotta be put in the garbage or the compost, and don't put like baby diapers and stuff like that in the recycling because it's counterproductive. So we gotta do our individual part, and this has to be recycle. So I'm a bit upset, but I do here volunteering. It's been years and years and years, you know, since I cleaned the environment here myself, and it's my second home, and it's my second home, yeah, my second home. So gotta be careful, you know. Salut. Regardez qu'est-ce que j'ai trouvé dans la forêt, mes chers.
Ah, tu n'avais pas trouvé une paire de lunettes par hasard?
Non, mais ça, il faut que ça soit recyclé.
Évidemment.
Carton.
C'est du carton, il laisse ça comme ça.
Ah oui, carton, Kleenex, mouchoir.
On essaie de préserver la nature ici, puis on a des lapins. Je viens de voir des lapins, là.
Ah oui.
Un petit lapin qui a sauté avec un écureuil. Je dis, ben, laissez ça, pas ça là. Mettez ça dans le recyclage, tu sais. En tout cas, bonne journée.
On fait pareil.
Bonne randonnée à vous. Ah ouais, merci, j'apprécie ça, mais tu sais, on a les travailleurs publics, là. Non? Ils s'en occupent, les travailleurs publics.
Oui, mais ici, il passe combien de fois? À peu près jamais.
Ouais, mais je veux dire, pas loin, là. Il y a les bacs de recyclage en bas, puis sur le côté, tu sais. En tout cas, on le fait, moi puis toi, puis that's it, that's all. Salut. Bye. So that's what we gotta be doing, man. We gotta be doing this recycling here because it's a bit stressful. I know those two senior citizens from the past. I always have nice conversations about the environment with them, and they're always smiling, and I always smile. I think they know. I think I let them know last time we knew what Asperger's was, and I have to be told, you know, directly that sometimes I speak too much. So we're not aware of these social, you know, the social norms that people have, you know, the social norms we're socially awkward, you know, so we're socially awkward with that, but that's how we live, you know, that's how we live. So sometimes I'm hyper vigilant, you know, hyper vigilant, because I have like flashes of trauma, and I remember moving from a moldy place. I used to live in a moldy place. I always say if I would have stayed there, I would have probably been dead or in jail. If I would have stayed where I used to live, I would have probably been dead or in jail. If I would have stayed where I used to live, I would have probably been dead or in jail. And then I moved, and I got scars. I'm open about my scars: androgynous, pansexual, rainbow dragon, rock-and-roll. But with all that, you know, I'm a great philosopher, geopolitical analyst, and theorist who has predicted what's happening now. I predicted it back in 2019. It's gonna be 5 years soon in October. It's gonna be 5 years when I predicted what's happening now in a general manner, because my obsessive interest is geopolitics, and I know 24/7 it's geopolitical analysis and theorizing and revision of the geopolitical status and geopolitical events and conflagrations and international, well, everything that encompasses geopolitics I pretty much know, and I can discuss with geopolitical experts, with historians, with political scientists about issues for hours and hours and hours, and it's geopolitics 24/7, rock and roll 24/7, my main three obsessive interests: geopolitics, fitness, dancing is my favorite sport, and rock and roll. And I gotta be watching when I step here as I go towards the sun to recycle this, and I'm gonna continue discussing the DRT, the debt refusion theory. D for debt, R for refusion, T for theory, debt refusion theory. So the debt refusion theory, you know, I think it's safer for me to try to put this in the pocket so that I can balance and have a safe descent. See, because it's very steep. Oh, yeah, steep. So the safest way, what would be the safest way for me to pocket it up? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, pocket. Put it in the pocket. So now I can descend slowly, because here you got steep, and once I get down there, So many different routes to take, but here is very steep, so I gotta watch for. I gotta bend my knees, you know. I gotta myself bend my knees and just gotta bend my knees a little bit, you know. See how steep it is. So, you know, I took this route, so now I'm kind of. I kind of feel like going back a bit, but I'm gonna just make sure that I just go steep with it. So, just before I discuss the DRT, I just want to make myself safe, because it's very steep, one of the steepest. Whoop! One of the steepest routes, you know. One of the steepest routes. See? One of the steepest routes. One of the steepest routes here in the wilderness. One of the steepest. One of the steepest routes. One of the steepest. One of the steepest routes. So, prudence, safety, and gotta get my safety and security, and gotta discuss that DRT. See how steep it is. So, you got that steep, going up and down steep, and always gotta get it on the go. So, gotta be prudent. So, sometimes I gotta slow down a bit. Sometimes slow and steady, slow and steady, slow and steady. So that's all we're gonna be doing with that. Gonna be doing with the drills, and you know, and get that 42, 42, 42, 42, 42, 42, 42. Plus 2, that's 44. Love on the wheel. Do what that will. So we're gonna take all the public and the private debt, the DRT, debt refusion tree for the creation of the UE. So this includes, my DRT includes monetary integration, which is exactly what was done in the European Union. That's what was done in the European Union, and that's what we're gonna be doing that with that. So gonna be doing on the XYZ, and gotta be moving on the side, you know.
So sorry. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Gotta get it on the side here from the XYZ, so we gotta get it on the XYZ, and we gotta go doing on the XYZ and let them be a little bit of that joy there for the running. And I forgot to mention the branches here, and a little bird chirp, and we gotta be doing on that XYZ, and we gotta be doing on the loving, man. They're running and loving, and they said thank you, sorry, but no need to apologize, because yeah, that's an aspect thing. When people say sorry, sometimes we say, what are you apologizing for? Because it's not your fault. If it's not your fault directly, my financial crisis, financial situation, or that I lost jobs, employment opportunity due to having Asperger's, I would say, kind of find that weird. Offer me something, a hug, a kiss, a massage, and some food, some chips, some Tim Hortons sausages, blah, blah, blah. But that's an aspect thing, you know? Sometimes people mistake us for lacking empathy. Compassion is not that, it's that Aspies, we show it by action, you know? We would show it by action, by doing things, rather than more emotional, sentimental, verbal consolation. We would show it by action, you know? It's again an Asperger's thing, and see that? Anyway, the DRT, we're gonna take all public and private debt. My debt, your debt, our debt, all that debt, coast to coast. We're gonna get around that debt, coast to coast. So my 10,500, your 10,500, we're gonna add it all up. So all the public and the private debt, converted to US dollars, converted to US dollars, converted to US dollars. All of it converted to US dollars, is of course going to be an enormous number. So Canada, all the public private debt of Canada, coast to coast, converted to US dollar, with that number added with the United States, Mexico, transatlantic if they will, but Canada first, US first. All that debt, public private debt, is going to finance the initial money supply for a new central bank, who's going to issue the new currency called the UE. Stands for U dot Universal E dot Exchange Unit. The UE U dot Universal E dot Exchange Unit. The UE U dot Universal E dot Exchange Unit. The UE. we're gonna put an interest rate level of 10% maximum. 10% maximum is gonna be 10% maximum, 10% thereafter. We're gonna, it could be 9.3, 3.33, 1.56, 7.18, 4.18, 7.70, 6.1, 9.3, whatever the number is. Below 10% after that. And this UE is going to have the value of the US dollar, because that's why we're going to convert all the public-private debt to United States dollar. We're going to freeze the prices of bacon, prices of cheese, prices of food. We're going to do that. And with that money, we're going to be able to finance citizens to work out, train, exercise. Mass finance building of more hydroelectric dams. Mass finance the rebuilding of the collective American civilization infrastructure. The infrastructure underneath for, we're going to do a mass finance citizens fitness activity to work out, train, exercise. Mass finance tourism. And of course, finance the complementary, covenant and cooperative institutions of the dancing goddess. The dancing goddess. The Dancing Goddess, and the Dragon Kingdom. The Dragon Army, North American Citizen Integrates Social for Service, Security, and Defense Force. The North American Citizen Integrates Security and Service Force. The North American Citizen Integrates Security and Service Force. The Dragon Army with the Dancing Goddess Army, Dancing Goddess Army, Dancing Goddess Army, Dancing Goddess Army. The DGA, the GGA for the environment, for security and service and the environment to complementary covenant and cooperative institutions of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom support the kingdom. That's why I'm calling them astrological brother. Scorpio, Bill Gates of Black Hog, Black Stone, and Black Rock are two financial institutions which differ. Of course, those financial institutions would differ, and of course, you got to get those financial institutions would different right there. So those financial institutions, they're different, but of course, Black Rock and Black Stone, they're part of the finance of the public, and of course, it's going to take the public and the private finance. That's basically why I'm calling. I just say that Joe Biden is a Scorpio. Joe Biden, astrologically is a Scorpio, and the other one is also a Scorpio. Larry Fink of Black Stone and Black Rock are different. They're not to be confused, not to be confused. Black Rock and Black Stone, though, they're different. Basically, they're private. So it takes the private and the public. It takes the private and the public. It takes the public and the private. There's a nice bus. It takes the public and the private. It takes the public and the private. It takes the public and the private. It takes the public and the private institutions. That's basically the call. So my DRT is the only solution, brothers and sisters. We pay $46.5 billion in interest. You can argue all you want, but the fact is we pay $46.5 billion in interest only. So the amount of interest which we pay makes it in concordium that there's no other solution but the DRT, the implementation of the DRT, debt refusion theory, for the creation of the universal exchange unit. And I lay the foundations for the creation of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom with trillions of kisses, some rock and roll, and the DRT on the table, parallel with the CIT, to build more infrastructure across North America where citizens can go and monitor 24/7 the public sphere, the highways, the public sphere with webcams, and Microsoft joined Google, total public surveillance and accreditation of people to public hygiene and to work out, train, exercise, and encouraging people to work out, train, exercise, and public hygiene, part of the ongoing theory of the CIT, citizen integration theory. That is what it is. Yours truly got to get it for now and got to get it for the XYZ, and that's how we got to go drill it on that and turn the head left or right, for the creation of the DRT. The DRT, the debt refusion theory, that is what it is. And we got to get that 12 volts, get that red. Beautiful red there, that is going to get that beautiful red. So that is what we're going to be drilling with. So we're going to be drilling with that, and the DRT is the only solution. As much as you can argue left, right, or center, whatever the case may be, left, right, or center, whatever the case may be, the DRT is the only solution. The DRT is the only solution. The debt refusion theory, we're going to be given, of course, the DRT, the debt refusion theory, DRT, the debt refusion theory, and of course the DRT for the creation of the universal exchange unit, universal exchange unit, the UE, the universal exchange unit. That's all we're gonna need to be doing. The universal exchange unit for the creation of the UE, the universal exchange unit, percent an interest rate level of 10%, mass finance, coast to coast defense only. These are beautiful kind of. Look at people. These are beautiful. The DRT for the creation of the UE, and here we are. Hey?
Are you a Texas guy?
I heard Texas. What did you say?
Oh, I'm just joking.
You can
We
joke.
came to Texas. we met, and now here we are in Texas, I think. No?
Yeah, you can be if you want. North America. I'm just gonna put this in recycling because I go in the forest and I do volunteering, you know. Because we got rabbits, we got chipmunks, we got flora fauna we're trying to preserve. So
Yeah.
people leave
throw
this
their
type like in the forest.
Do that.
We have it right here. Public workers.
Yeah, or a pocket, like you said.
Yeah, sometimes I bring the bag and I.
Go through.
We got public
Good.
workers, eh? That's what we got civilization for.
That's right. Gotta look out for each other.
It's a privilege, eh?
You're a good man.
Think about it, guys. Did you go to the top, to the Belvedere?
Yeah.
Did you notice that we have spots to drink water from, eh?
Right.
Imagine all that work just to get the pipes, to get that water fountain over there. The engineering and the labor to bring it all the way atop. It's quite something if you.
Yeah.
We're retired power plant engineers.
Oh, what?
Power plant
Oh, yeah?
engineers. Yeah.
All of you?
Well,
He made the
I made
equipment.
the stuff that he installed.
Oh, yeah.
Make the wheels go round and round.
Oh, yeah. Roaming up in Corpus Christi? Austin, Texas, you said? Or
Fort Worth, Dallas.
Dallas?
Well,
Metropolis?
Arlington and
Yeah, big metropolis.
I know. Top five, fifth, five?
Number 5, probably.
Number 5, anyways. North America. All right, guys, so please eat and drink only local.
do you recommend someplace local?
We went to Nelson. Let me see. What's it called?
Oh, we have so many spots. Please go to the Old Port.
Yeah, we did.
And try the beer called Unibrew. If you drink beer, are you guys drinking beer?
Unibrew?
Unibrew. It's Quebec local beer. I would recommend also La Maudite, but La Maudite is kind of strong and powerful. It's like 9%.
But
Also,
Jardine Nelson, that's where we ate yesterday.
oh,
Have you
good for
been
you.
there?
Mm,
It's down in the old.
I don't think I ever been there.
It's really nice. Very nice.
Good for you.
All right.
Good for you guys. Love you. Thanks for coming to Quebec. And
Oh, yeah.
please
Enjoying it.
learn some of that French.
We are. Try it. We're trying. Oh, good. This,
Un peu plus, s'il vous plaît. Faites un effort.
when you get this old, it's very hard.
Just listen to Celine Dion. Bye. Bye. Oh my gosh. Those are some nice tourists. Gotta get it for us. I know it's probably weird with the Asperger's, you know, like gotta get the Aspies and Asperger's conditions, you know. But anyways, they're fun there. They have fun from Texas, and it's always something which I appreciate to elaborate upon the Quebec culture there. But of course, I cannot communicate in them in Quebec. You know, in Quebec, we gotta get them over here and over there and over there. So we gotta be here loving for North Americans, man. And you know, we gotta be careful to each other. And they're from Texas, and gotta get it for that Texas. And saluting, sending some love to those Texas. Be careful here because sometimes the bikes come very fast, eh? So I'm going here by all the way north. I'm gonna finish finally the DRT, the Debt Refusion Theory, for the creation of the UE. Anybody want to finance? I go up and down these stairs a few times and gotta get it for that XYZ and retire Texas, and we gotta get it on that. They're from Dallas, Fort Worth, and they got a little bit of Dallas in them down south there. And I was there roaming in a past life and came all the way to Quebec, and they gotta get it on those back to Texas and spending in some of that good cell phone. And I gotta give myself a battery because my cell phone's kind of don't have the money to change it, but gotta work with the laptop here what it is, you know. So I gotta go up and down, and they're Texas and come here to join with us a little bit. So I wanted to discuss the DRT with them, but they're here on a holiday, 3 more days of summer. And love you guys, Texas. Big love in North Americans Unite. I was there in a past life, served in 2 different wars. I was born a woman once. You get that 50-50 now. You get that 50-50 now. You get that 50-50 now. I was born a woman once and twice as a man, and served in the United States Armed Forces in 2 different wars. Oh, I forgot to drink water. 2 different wars. 2 different wars. Two different. 156 years apart. Whew. Oh, that's a workout. Ah. Oh yeah. Oh, those stairs just, whew. It's quite a workout. You just get those knees up and gotta get it on the go. So wow, that is something which you feel it on the knees. Whew. This feels so good. Oh yeah, that was quite something there. Getting it on, and oh yeah. Whew. That was really good. I feel it on that and gotta get it on the go and gotta get it on the now. So, oh, there's no water fountain here. We gotta get it on the water fountain here. Well, I have water in the backpack, but I really wanna finish discussing the DRT as I go roaming about. So I'm gonna finish discussing the DRT, then I'm gonna hydrate half, and then I'm gonna be discussing the DRT right here. I'm gonna just go around the bow like that once and twice about here, just changing a bit. And here you can support build the house of the dragon along with other one, you know, just paint it red, 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 scarlet, and gotta paint that red, 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 scarlet, red, scarlet, scarlet, and gotta get it on this XYZ, XYZ, XYZ. So that's what we're gonna build on that XYZ, XYZ. So that's where we're gonna get that house built. Gonna chop half, build a bathroom with a bathtub in it, and of course kitchen to cooking. That's all I need there. So it's right there on the mountain, and we can work out, train, exercise, dance, and that's what it is for the tourists. And the DRT again, take all public and private debt. All the public private debt converted to US dollars is gonna be the initial money supply. We're gonna create the UE. It takes public-private partnership, public-private partnership. That's why my Scorpio brother Bill Gates, but it could be Sagittarius, Scorpios, Leos, Sagittarius, and of course all involved in the production, distribution of food, and all this that it is for the rock and roll. That's what we need to be doing with that. So it's always something which, of course, I gotta myself interject and be aware and be mindful of that. So it's something that, of course, I gotta be aware of that and be mindful on the 24/7. So that's what we're gonna be doing with that, and gonna be converting and doing that currency, creating the universal exchange unit, the universal exchange unit, the universal exchange unit, the UE. Fundamentally, it is the only solution, of course, for that it is, and that is what it is. And for the conversion, of course, of the universal exchange unit, that's how we gotta be doing. So create the UE, the universal exchange unit, by the creation of the new central bank. Together we will be able to do it, and that's what we're gonna be doing. The UE, universal exchange unit, converted, and that's again taking all the public and the private debt. My 10,500, your 10,500, our whatever the case may be, is gonna be in the main strength. So all the debt, all the public and the private debt, all the private and the public debt. So we're gonna take it all. It's not quite beautiful here. We're gonna take it, all the public and the private debt, and we're gonna convert it into US dollars. The US dollars, US dollars, US dollars, US dollars. So we're gonna convert all the, we're gonna convert all the US dollars. We're gonna convert all the public private debt, and of course we're gonna get a little bit of XYZ. That's what we're gonna convert, you know. So that's what we're gonna convert the US dollars, and you know, you got a little bit of discovery there to do. That's what we're gonna be doing with that. So take all the public private debt. That's what we're gonna be doing, a little bit of that. And we're gonna be doing all the public private debt converted to US dollars. We're gonna convert it to US dollars. We're gonna create a new currency called the UE, a universal exchange, just like in the European Union, because my DRT includes monetary integration theory. What is exactly what was done in the European Union. So once again, we're gonna take all the public and the private debt, my 10,500, yours, ours, all that money, we're gonna convert it to US dollars. That money is going to be the initial money supply for this new central bank. Whatever you call it, the North American Central Bank, we're going to do parallel the DRT, which includes the monetary integration theory, which is exactly the financial theory which was done in the European Union. So all that money is going to be the initial money supply for this new central bank, and we're going to issue a new currency. And we're going to top the interest rate at 10%. create the UE, U dot, universal E dot exchange unit. The UE in French is going to be the same UE, U dot, universal E dot exchange unit. Microsoft, Bill Gates, Mario, Scorpio, Larry Fink, Scorpio, Joe Biden, Scorpio, Sagittarius. We gotta get it with the Sagittariuses, and of course, all involved, of course, in the finance. It takes the public and the private finance, because my dream is a PPP, public-private partnership, fundamental for the public-private partnership, and that's what we're gonna be doing with that, and that's what we're gonna be doing with the XYZ, and we're gonna be doing some of that good loving, and here we gotta get down that do loving for the bodies of purpose. We're gonna be able to do lots of good public good with that. So the DRT, Dragon DRT is the only solution, as much as you want to argue. So now we're gonna get back to that, and that's it, that's all. The DRT is the only solution, you know. We're gonna switch to that French a bit. Please do not pollute. Please do not pollute. I'm gonna get that hydration, switch to that French a little bit. We're gonna be able to get that French switch, and you know, encouraging people to work out. We're gonna mass finance fitness and mass finance rebuilding of the infrastructure. Lots of good with that money. So much good. Money is to buy, sell. Money is to buy, sell. Money is to buy, sell. Fundamentally, so we're gonna be able to do lots of good with that money. Lots of good, public good. You know, because please give to charity, millionaires, billionaires. Give to charity. You got 44 more minutes, almost 45 minutes. Buy, sell, Wall Street. Please give to charity. Butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, grocery store clerks. Salute. Always gonna get it for the salute, and always gonna get it for a little bit of that beautiful public-private partnership, whatever that case may be there. Gonna get it to get that hydration. I gotta switch to that French, man. And then we're gonna go back inside and switch to that French right here. Let's see if we get it for the drinking, man. Imagine all the work, man. Imagine all the work just to have the water here. Thank you, public workers, whoever was in the 20th century laid those pipes, man, to build it here. Imagine all that. Thank you, public workers, 20th century to build it. For us to have me, you, us to have public worker drinking here water. Imagine, you know, otherwise we have to bring our own, but we can have here water, man. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oops. That was good hydration. Now we're gonna go back. Looks like a storm coming, man. Gonna get it inside like that and go by the side again. Inside the forest. Somebody holding those hands there, kissing, and that's what I like to see, man. That gives me hope. They're holding hands, kissing, and they're hugging, and that's also give me some of that hope, man. And I see acts of love, man. You know, it's not all about fighting. Sometimes it takes a little bit of that love, you know. Somebody making love today, yeah. Making some of that good rock and roll. Love you, butchers, bakers, nurses, firefighters. Please give. You know, I wish I could afford a massage therapy session. I've been wishing it for like 3.5 years. With COVID, my fitness journey started in 2017 when I conquered being depressed and suicidal, and it still starts every day. But you know who deserves better, more? Nurses. Finance them, millionaires, billionaires, a massage therapy session. Finance the butchers, truckers also, farmers. Where to go? Sunny Farms. Go Sunny Farms. Gonna be meditating. Imagine all that work in farms. I got those cans, you know, this is a special Sunny Farm and Sunny Farm meditation, and gotta get that meditation for Sunny Farms. And imagine all that labor in the farms doing now. Gotta get that labor for the farms, and I'll be going on the up side. Pardon? C'est pas pratique. Mais je suis habitué, ma chère, hein? Parce qu'ici, c'est comme chez nous, c'est comme ma deuxième maison. Mais merci pour votre conseil. Quand même. Hey, vous avez des belles fleurs, vous avez poigné ça dans le bois?
Non.
OK.
Maintenant, j'ai perdu.
Bye. We gotta get it on there, so there's some nice senior citizens there who sent a bit of LOV and they're sending a little bit of prudence for me to go. He said it's not practical for me to carry this, and I say, yeah, I'm used to it. Thank you for your concern, but I gotta do my work with the laptop. So sweet, and we gotta get on the so sweetness and gotta look out for their safety. And you know, senior citizens there, we gotta go on that XYZ and XYZ. We gotta get it on the go with that. So it's something which we gotta hydrate and rock and roll and gotta get it for that, you know. So gotta go to see. And we gotta go to see and understand and have the knowledge, and that's how we gotta be doing on that, and we gotta be doing on that XYZ, and that's how we gotta be doing for the prudence and for my fellow senior citizens. Thank you, appreciate it. Senior citizen said it's not practical, but it's like my second home, so I'm used to it. And LOV, farmers, butchers, I loved working in CHSLDs, and that was a pleasure for me to work in CHSLDs. I had a good experience, you know, and Asperger's, androgyny, whatever, XYZ, and rent's paid, electricity bills paid, and got some scars, whatever the case may be. And thank you, farmers, truckers. Always thinking about the truckers, aqueducts, train conductors, those train conductors, and the butchers, and the bakers, and those yellow flowers, and LOV, anonymous friend. If I make $1 million a bit in the train, somebody I know deserves to be 7 times richer than Taylor Swift, Oprah, Celine Dion, blah blah blah. If I make $1 million, give $1 billion. We gotta get it on that rock and roll, and we gotta switch it on the road here, you know. So here we are, switch it back, and going back in and going back out, and switching a little bit of that French, cause we in la belle province already. How about it in 44 seconds? Before I say my rock and roll go, grateful, thankful, my rent's paid, electricity bills paid, got food, got coffee, got those 2 cans, go, Sunny Farms, that's the name of the farmers you saw at the beginning, Sunny Farms. I love the sunny, but I don't mind a little bit of storm and thunder, sunny ways, storm and thunder, rock and roll for the butchers, rainbow, dragon, black and white. With a rainbow for the truckers, bakers, nurses, always got to be thinking about the train conductors now. The butchers, the bakers, those changing some diapers, give 10% of $1 million. If you make profit, Wall Street closing in 44 minutes. You got some buying and selling still up to it. 10% is 100,000 of $1 million. Divided by 4, blah, 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 give 25,000 to, and for food security, environmental causes, women's sports leagues, and LGBTQ causes, those 4 causes. Add a 5th dimension for the lovers. With consent and hygiene, blah, blah, blah. Hug like you never hugged before. With consent and hygiene, hug like you never hugged before. With consent and hygiene, hug like you never hugged before. And now for that French. Bienvenue. On est déjà sur la montagne de Mont-Royal. Votre arc-en-ciel. L'entraînement physique, s'il vous plaît. Regardez la belle abomination qui est cette antenne. La belle abomination. Cette antenne. S'il vous plaît, ne laissez pas des déchets ici. Faites le ramassage, s'il vous plaît. Ça soit le ramassage, s'il vous plaît. Faites le ramassage. Ramassez les cochonneries. Ne laissez pas des déchets. Ça peut être. On peut faire le recyclage. Pas laisser dans la forêt, mes chers. Des papiers, mettez ça dans le splash, puis il faut que je me lave les mains avec du désinfectant. Je vais me laver avant que je quitte la montagne parce que je fais déjà du bénévolat ici, puis comme tantôt j'avais ramassé gros carton. Regardez cette belle pièce, c'est dans une vie parallèle. J'ai aussi l'Asperger's, je suis aspi, mais dans la vie parallèle, j'ai l'Asperger's, mais C'est la science, la technologie, les mathématiques, la physique. Mon intérêt obsessif, fait que je connais tout ce qu'il y a à faire avec l'art. Les satellites, j'en construis, bâtis, les super micropuces, des ordinateurs, super ordinateurs, puis des téléphones intelligents, puis des antennes, comme celle-là de 3G, 4G, 5G, de radio, puis de télé. C'est ça que je construis dans une vie parallèle, comme vous voyez ici, dans cette vie. Je suis un analyste et théoricien en géopolitique, c'est mon intérêt obsessif. Ah, puis ça me fait un peu chier quand je vois qu'il y a des bouteilles comme ça qui peuvent être et doivent être mis au recyclage. Si vous voulez mettre ça dans le recyclage, ne le laissez pas. Des déchets, si on essaie de faire la préservation de la nature pour les lapins, les sauterelles, puis bien sûr les lapins, les sauterelles. Et bien sûr, les lapins et les sauterelles qui sautent ici, dans les eaux et dans les zones affranchies dans la forêt. Les lapins, les sauterelles, puis les chauves-souris, sinon la flore et la faune va bien apprécier. On essaie de faire la réhabilitation, on essaie de faire du travail, puis ça prend du travail individuel puis collectif pour le partenariat public-privé de votre arc-en-ciel, s'il vous plaît. Soutenez. Faites soutien, je vous fais appel de cœur de soutenir mon rêve qui est fondamentalement un appel pour un partenariat public-privé à travers le collectif de Civilisation Americain, en train de l'Amérique du Nord. Et en me faisant l'entraînement physique, c'est mon intérêt obsessif. J'ai ma trinité d'intérêts obsessifs. Nous, les Aspi. L'Asperger, ce n'est pas une maladie mentale, c'est une condition de neurodivergence mentale psychique. Ça fait qu'on a des intérêts obsessifs, puis moi-même, c'est la géopolitique 24/24. L'étude, je suis un analyste et théoricien en géopolitique qui a prévu en 2019, en octobre, ça fait déjà 5 ans, j'ai prévu la situation qui se déroule en ce moment, en 2019, j'ai la preuve, parce que j'ai ce travail que j'ai fait, puis j'ai des écritures, des documents, je peux en parler pendant des heures, c'est mon intérêt obsessif. Je suis Aspi, j'ai l'Asperger, c'est pas une maladie mentale, puis je fais le plus que je puisse la gestion de mes symptômes, parce qu'il faut que je fasse la gestion de mes symptômes. Je suis étrange dans des interactions sociales avec le public, et bien sûr, des interactions dans le public. Je suis intérêt obsessif, que je suis un intérêt obsessif, et c'est l'entraînement physique, la danse, la géopolitique et le rock-and-roll. La trinité d'intérêt obsessif, puis quand je fais du rock-and-roll, des fois, je peux en faire pendant des heures, des sessions de rock-and-roll bilingue, puis des analyses et théories en géopolitique, c'est 24/24 avec l'entraînement physique, qui est la danse. Mon sport préféré, puis aujourd'hui, je célèbre 7 ans jusqu'à samedi, en 2017. Avant, j'ai traversé le Canada de côte à côte en 2017, et cet événement dans ma vie, ça a tellement changé ma vie. J'étais en dépression, j'étais suicidaire, j'ai dit, tellement de choses à faire, à voir, tellement de choses à faire, à voir, tellement de choses à faire, puis à voir. À faire, puis à voir. Tellement de choses à faire, puis à voir. Tellement de choses à faire, puis à voir au Canada. Puis j'ai commencé mon entraînement physique. Ouais, regardez les champignons, Les champignons, hein, sur l'arbre des champignons, ils vont pousser. Je ne sais pas s'ils sont bonnes comestibles à manger. Ça va falloir que ça prenne plus de connaissances, mais je les trouve belles quand même. Et j'aimerais ça savoir s'ils sont mangeables, si on peut les manger, dans d'autres mots plus sophistiqués, s'ils sont comestibles. Mais je ne toucherai pas, là, mais j'imagine comme ça des scénarios quand même de survivre, de tout ça dans la nature, parce que ça prend les deux. Mais puis là, aujourd'hui, en marche et méditation Rock&Roll pour des fermes du Canada, du Québec, qui s'appelle Sunny Farms, et merci pour le don. La sécurité alimentaire commence avec les producteurs qui produisent nos aliments dans les fermes, puis dans toutes les productions alimentaires à travers l'Amérique du Nord. Puis j'ai 2 canettes, comme j'ai montré au début de la vidéo, mais aujourd'hui je marche puis je médite spécialement pour Sunny Farms. C'est des fermes végétales, les légumes combinés, puis dans cette c'est pour eux autres aujourd'hui que je médite, puis j'ai l'adresse dessus, puis c'est quelque part au Québec. Je vais aller plus d'informations tantôt chez nous, quand je vais me rendre chez nous pour faire plus de vérifications en ligne, puis tout ça, là, j'envoie un petit mot peut-être, et bien sûr, là, c'est une marche de méditation justement pour la ferme qui s'appelle Sunny. Sunny, ça veut dire bien sûr ensoleillé, aujourd'hui, il va y avoir des nuages qui viennent, mais c'était averti, je ne sais pas s'il va y avoir de la tonnerre, mais Encore une fois, je fais un avertissement, comme je dis tantôt, il faut faire prudence. Si vous venez ici, prudence, de pas faire prudence quand vous vous approchez ici, là. Être prudent parce qu'il y a des branches qui tombent à cause des arbres, ça tombe d'en haut. Fait que je peux pas vous faire mention tellement je vous répète, bien sûr, que ça fait des renseignements pour ici. Vous voyez les branches qui tombent, vous voyez des branches qui tombent, des branches qui tombent, des branches qui tombent, des branches qui tombent. Et bien sûr, c'est des choses qu'il faut que je fasse moi-même, bien sûr. Et des choses d'interprétation ici, là, parce que des fois, ça fait des choses pour en faire, bien sûr. Puis c'est des choses qu'il faut que je fasse moi-même d'attention, puis je dois avertir des choses, bien sûr, que ça fasse de l'entraînement physique et des choses ici, quand que les gens viennent courir, je leur avertis toujours qu'il y ait des branches, bien sûr, qui tombent, fait que c'est des choses comme cette branche-là qui viennent tomber, bien sûr, puis c'est des choses qui viennent tomber ici par-dessus, puis bien sûr, c'est des choses que il faut que je fasse prudence moi-même, puis il faut que je fasse interprétation moi-même, puis comme ça, il faut que je sois prudent moi-même, puis ne pas négliger ce fait constamment que dans la forêt ici, ils peuvent avoir des branches qui tombent, des branches qui tombent, des branches qui tombent, des branches qui tombent, bien sûr, comme celle-là par la gauche puis par la droite, fait qu'il faut que je médite puis je fasse attention, comme cette branche-là ici, là. C'est tombé d'en haut, là. Regardez ça, là. Comme celle-là ici, l'autre bord, ben, c'est pour ça que je dis avertis les gens, regardez là-bas. C'est la preuve, là, regardez là-bas, là. C'est la preuve, hein, c'est la preuve, là. Hey, ça peut venir, bien sûr, ça va faire, bien sûr, pour en tomber dessus, là. C'est des choses, bien sûr, qu'il faut que je fasse attention moi-même, tu sais. C'est des choses moi-même qu'il faut que je fasse attention, fait que ça tombe. Il y a des choses qui tombent, il faut que je sois prudent dans la forêt, hein. J'avertis les gens parce que j'ai vécu 5 fois cette année, là, des branches qui tombent, fait qu'il faut que je regarde en haut si j'entends le bruit. Je dois être prêt à faire une petite course, du jogging, pour même courir, du rock&roll. Votre dragon arc-en-ciel là, vous invite à l'entraînement physique, gratitude. Même si je vis maintenant un stress financier, seulement je vis, en ce moment, mon seul stress est financier, en ce moment, mon seul stress est financier, donc c'est ça qu'il faut que je fasse moi-même, en vivant un stress financier maintenant, mais c'est des choses que il faut que j'aille faire prudence moi-même, c'est des choses, bien sûr, que je dois faire avec l'interrogation, bien sûr, m'interroger, puis bien sûr, faire ces choses-là, bien sûr, que je dois y avoir de faire, puis bien sûr, de m'aligner, bien sûr, avec une direction dans ce fait constant, bien sûr, que il faut que j'aille, bien sûr, avoir cet événement ici, comme celui-là. C'était, tu sais, regardez ça, là. Ça a tombé, hein, c'est des branches. Vous aventurez, soyez prudents, méchants. Les aventures dans la forêt ici, ben, c'est des choses, bien sûr, qu'il faut qu'on aille nous-mêmes. Puis regardez par en haut, par la droite, puis dans la forêt pour qu'on glisse. Bien sûr, pour qu'on glisse, bien sûr, la glissade, c'est possible qu'on aille faire. Puis c'est des choses d'être constamment vigilant puis en prudence. Puis je vous encourage à faire l'entraînement physique en 2017. En août et en septembre, j'ai traversé moi-même le Canada. J'étais en dépression puis suicidaire. En 2017, cet événement dans ma vie, ça a tellement changé ma vie. Aujourd'hui, je célèbre encore 7 ans. En août, je suis allé au Vancouver, en Colombie-Britannique. En août, je suis allé au Vancouver, en Colombie-Britannique. En août, je suis allé à Vancouver, en Colombie-Britannique. En août, je suis allé à Vancouver, en Colombie-Britannique. J'étais de retour. Et bien sûr, en septembre, ici, je suis allé à Halifax. Et bien sûr, en Nouvelle-Écosse, à Halifax, en Nouvelle-Écosse, à Halifax. Et bien sûr, c'est ça que j'ai fait. J'ai été de retour à Halifax. J'étais de retour à Halifax. Et bien sûr, j'ai fait cet entraînement physique que j'ai fait moi-même. Mon entraînement physique, j'ai créé moi-même en 2019. Puis j'ai prévu la situation actuelle en 2019, en octobre, vis-à-vis de la situation géopolitique d'une manière, généralement parlant, là, pas à chaque détail, là, pas à chaque détail, avec chaque détail, là, mais quand même, d'une manière, d'une façon généralement parlant, j'ai prévu la situation qui se déroule en ce moment. en 2019, en octobre, ça va faire bientôt 5 ans. Puis je peux vous faire un petit résumé, là, que j'avais fait une analyse, je fais des analyses quotidiennement à tous les jours, profondes, en géopolitique, puis c'est ça mon intérêt obsessif, puis je suis un analyste et théoricien en géopolitique, arc-en-ciel, messieurs, madame, des fois 50-50, tout ça à part, c'est mon intérêt obsessif, la géopolitique, je peux en parler pendant des heures, puis de chaque sujet, je peux prononcer d'une manière plus que d'autres, c'est 20e siècle, bien sûr, la guerre froide, c'est bien sûr la guerre froide principalement, mais j'avais prévu en 2019 la situation actuelle, vu au fait, pour dire un petit résumé, c'est dû au fait principalement que des conflits qui n'ont pas été capables d'être résolus dans le 20e siècle, des conflits qui n'ont pas été capables d'être résolus dans le 21e siècle, des conflits qui n'ont pas été capables d'être résolus au 20e siècle. J'ai prévu qu'il y aura une conflagration internationale en 2019. Guys, be careful because sometimes there's falling branches.
Oh yeah?
So if you venture out deep in the forest, be mindful as you see these branches here.
Yep.
See, they have a tendency to sometimes fall, as you can see. Yeah. So be prudent if you hear some noise, rock and roll, and be ready to move.
We're just trying to get to the lookout.
Is the lookout this way?
There's lots of lookouts.
The big
Mount
one.
There's
Royal.
lots.
The Mount Royal,
Yeah.
the main one.
No, we there. There's supposed to be another
The
one.
maze-
Belvedere?
The bus went right by. There was a lookout with people
Says,
congregating.
I know this is like my second home,
yeah.
so.
See?
We
So
gotta get out of
we're
here 'cause I'm getting a
Were you
tickle.
guys at the Belvedere? Were you guys at that chalet place?
Yeah.
yeah
You
down
guys
there.
were the chalet.
Is
then?
there another?
Well, there's many.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's many. So I can direct you towards
So
another
yeah,
lookout.
so we're going to this one. So we're gonna go to this.
So you
'cause
guys
we have
saw
to
the
take the
downtown
bus.
city? You have
Yeah.
you saw the downtown
Yeah.
city with the river?
Yeah.
So there's several lookouts, eh? So you can go there.
Okay. Stay on this path.
Yeah.
Stay on
No,
the
I'm gonna direct you out. I think it's best. I can direct you. Where are you guys from?
Ohio.
Ohio, Cincinnati, yeah.
Yeah.
How about that rock and roll, man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cleveland Rock.
What brings you guys to Montreal?
What
On
Nice.
a,
What
on
would
a
it?
vacation. Who wouldn't want to come to Montreal?
Oh yeah. Welcome. Gonna direct you guys. Take
Yeah.
you guys the shortest route.
Thank you. We've been walking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you guys comfortable with my pace?
What?
With your home?
I mean, with my
your
pace.
path?
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, I just
pace.
came from Idaho. I've been hiking for days.
Okay.
In the mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
So not in these shoes. That's the only difference.
How is your French?
Not good.
I can.
She's good,
I
better.
took a year in college.
Yeah.
I can be intuitive. I can figure out something.
Yeah. Do you guys know that you guys are, when you consume the electricity here, it's electricity that you consume here. It's all electric. It's all does not pollute.
Wow.
So
Ah.
all the electricity comes from our Hydro-Quebec power plants.
Okay, yeah.
We have 63.
Oh, that's
All
cool.
hydroelectric.
Oh, that's very cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
No pollution whatsoever.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, if we could get people to stop smoking, and then it would be great. It'd be
Yeah.
perfect.
So
All the smokers
I'm
do.
gonna direct you
Now it
here.
says this way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, good.
This is my second home, guys.
Where's your first home?
First home is 13.3 kilometers out west. Dragon's Lair. I cannot have anybody over. It's too small.
Oh, well, yeah.
So, first time in Quebec, Canada.
First time in Montreal.
First time in Montreal.
Yeah.
My first time.
Careful with the steps.
Yeah. I'm following the guide.
You're alright. You're good.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So you gotta eat only French, eh? Only Quebec products, please.
I am looking for sneakers. I want Canadian sneakers.
Okay.
I have my La Canadian boots. I try to be.
Please, only Quebec-made cheese, only Quebec-made sausages, only Quebec-made beer.
Well, we have our local friend now.
Please.
Tino. Was it Cafe Vita? He hooked us up.
Yeah.
Told us where to go, where to eat.
Beer, made everything has to be Quebec.
Absolutely.
Here you go, guys. I'm gonna direct you to another lookout. Now you're on the main road. You guys are okay?
Yeah, we're good.
All right.
Yeah.
Merci.
So, ça fait plaisir, mon plaisir pour l'Ohio qui vient nous voir.
Plaisir, what?
It's a bit
Too much.
too much.
Okay, so we go this way or probably.
So you have a lookout here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna head back in the forest,
Okay.
and then you can go back and have different lookouts. And there's a secret of the mountain. You have poems in the cement, but they're French.
Huh? Well, we'll translate.
Okay. You listen to Celine Dion songs?
Listen to Wesley.
Celine
We're
Dion?
rock and rollers.
We're rock.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we're rocking.
Rock and roll from Ohio. They came out to the mountain and they started hearing some of that French.
Oh, no, Celine is Canadian.
I rock and roll 24/7, man.
Oh,
There you
yeah?
go.
Oh yeah.
Got some favorites.
What's your names?
Sean.
Dedie.
Sean?
Dedie.
Sean and Dedie.
Yeah, what's
I'm from the
up?
mountain.
What's
From
up?
Cincinnati, Sean and
heart of the
Dedie. I rock and roll 24/7.
Yeah.
Nice. All right,
Yeah.
well, that's good.
I write rock and roll songs. I write songs.
Oh,
Yeah?
good. You got a band?
No.
Trying.
No. I have Asperger's, so I'm socially awkward. You know?
Oh, well,
Yeah.
listen. No, they don't say that
Asperger's.
anymore.
Mm,
We don't say Asperger's anymore.
I have it. Yeah.
So it's my son.
Yeah. Yeah.
We say spectrum.
Yeah. I'm on the spectrum, so
Well,
if you have a
lovely,
certain
lovely
way-
person. Thank you.
there you go. Poems right there.
Yeah, see, this is nice.
That's the east.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right.
See the river?
Oh, yeah.
See the river?
Yeah.
And if you want a great sunset, you have to go to that big place. Is called the Oratoire.
We'll work on
Oratoire.
it. We'll work on it.
All right, guys. Love you.
Hey, what's your name?
Adrian Hanna Dragon.
Eight. Okay.
Rainbow Dragon.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
24/7.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Nice
Thank
to
you.
meet you.
Bengals,
Merci.
Cincinnati.
Oh, you know
Yeah.
Bengals. They're not doing too good.
I'm into the 49ers.
I'm a Bills.
Buffalo?
I'm from New York.
Buffalo?
Originally, yeah.
You guys have a big win last time against you won big, like by 25
we beat
points.
the Dolphins.
The
yeah.
Dolphins with the Toboa getting hurt.
Yeah,
Big
right.
win though.
Yeah, it's a
Like
good win.
30, what?
30 to like,
What's a
20
big
or
win? Monday Night
14.
Football, like
Yeah.
a huge win.
yeah. We're playing again on, well, no, that was Thursday. We're playing on Monday against the Jaguars.
Jaguars? Okay. I hope they give a little bit of charity.
Yeah.
I think the owners and the players should reduce the costs and triple the cheerleaders' salaries. Give to women's sports leagues a bit more.
Yeah.
See ya.
I reduce the costs of the tickets by 10%.
Oh, yeah.
Love you guys. Love you guys. Hey, it ain't all about the money. Where there's bees, there's honey. Oh yeah, rock and roll, man. That's my original.
All right.
Rock and roll, man. C'est rock and roll. Vegas, Americain. We gotta get down. C'est du rock and roll. Je vais les diriger, bien sûr, qui vont de l'Ohio, puis ils viennent ici sur la montagne. You know, so they gotta get it on the XYZ, and you gotta get on the XYZ, XYZ. So that's why we gotta go drilling with that, you know. So it's always something which I gotta be doing, and I gotta be. Je dois faire le prudence en. Ça me fait plaisir de leur parler un peu de. Je viens de l'Ohio, fait que. Je dis toujours la même chose, dans le fond, de manger du Québec et de consommer des produits alimentaires. C'est un peu drôle quand même, mais j'y tiens vraiment à cœur pour qu'ils produisent et qu'ils mangent du Québec. Là. Je vais rentrer par là, mais après ça, je leur ai dit qu'ils s'en vont par là, comme ça. T'sais. On va s'en aller par là-bas, puis on rentre comme ça. On rentre dans la forêt encore. Et bien sûr, il faut que fasse attention là, parce que s'ils s'aventurent dans la forêt, ils vont avoir des choses qui vont tomber sur. Pour ça je leur dis d'être prudent là. Soyez prudent là quand même. Fait que ils aiment ça là. Parce qu'en Ohio c'est le Hall of Rock and Roll Fame là, puis j'aime ça le rock and roll, mais les autres aiment ça le football. C'est j'adore le sport, l'entraînement physique, puis c'est des choses que j'aime moi-même. Hein, des choses qu'il faut que je fasse moi-même, mais moi, je dois les avertir parce que ils viennent, je sais pas si c'est des touristes, là, que je vais leur dire. Là. Hello, you guys speak English?
Yes, both French and English.
Français, faites attention si vous rentrez dans la forêt parce que des fois il y a des branches qui tombent.
Ah ok, c'est bon.
Je vous dis ça pour votre sécurité et votre prudence là. Juste que si vous continuez dans la forêt pendant plus de temps, comme vous voyez ces branches ici, là, c'est toutes des branches qui tombent des fois d'en haut. Fait que si vous continuez, if you keep going, just sometimes be ready to move fast because you have the... See? Vous voyez ça? C'est des branches qui tombent comme ceux-là. Puis c'est pas indiqué malheureusement à l'entrée, donc je vous dis pour votre prudence, vous voyez ces branches-là ici?
Ouais, c'est des arbres même. Ouais.
C'est des arbres, donc soyez prudents, regardez en haut, vous entendez le bruit, le crack, soyez prêts à bouger vite.
Merci.
Plaisir, bonne journée. Fait que, parce que des fois ça tombe, fait que ça peut tomber, fait que juste qu'ils fassent attention, tu sais, comme celle-là ici. Vous voyez cette branche ici? Check ça. Hein? Regardez ça. Ça, c'est la branche. T'avais de tomber, celle-là, mais elle se tient par une branche là-bas, petite. Celle-là est à veille de tomber, là. Mais ça dépend comment elle tombe. Vous voyez comme cette branche-là, elle se tient de même.
Tu sais qu'on entend un petit craquement, faut bouger.
Vous entendez le craquement, vous bougez. Fait que c'est ça, that's it, that's all rock-and-roll. Et bien sûr, bonne journée à vous aussi, merci. Et bien sûr, c'est prudence. Hein? Je leur dis parce que c'est important de mettre un avis, là. Quelque part à l'entrée, faites attention parce qu'il y a des branches qui tombent. Puis je leur écris, mais à la ville, ça prend après 7 ans, ils me répondent après 7 ans, 3 ans et demi, 5 ans. Oh! Mais je le ferai moi-même, et juste amener les outils parce que c'est comme chez nous ici. Puis je vais les planter moi, les avertissements en anglais et en français. Soyez prudents, vigilants. Il y a des branches de la terre, des arbres qui peuvent tomber sur vous si vous allez dans la forêt. That's it, that's all. Rock and roll. Fait que juste être prudent, c'est tout. Soyez prudent, c'est tout. Tu sais, avec l'Asperger, j'ai tendance à... Tu sais, je répète 2-3 fois, je sais, mais il faut que je fasse attention sur mes symptômes, parce qu'il n'y a pas de médicaments pour l'Asperger, puis c'est juste ça, je leur dis, puis faites attention, là. Faites attention, là. Puis, mes chers, dans la forêt, vous avez beaucoup de choses, d'expérience à vivre, de l'amour, des câlins, les Canadiens qui vont gagner la 25e coupe. Ouais, ça sent la coupe, ça sent pas la coupe, faites attention. Puis la TRD, je veux discuter parce que c'est la seule et unique théorie qui peut nous sauver maintenant. Donc on est rendu avec la dette publique. C'est super important de discuter, que je discute, et dû au fait qu'on paye 46,5 milliards d'intérêts, 46,5 milliards d'intérêts, 46,5 milliards d'intérêts, 46,5 milliards d'intérêts qu'on paye sur la dette publique canadienne. Vous pouvez vérifier chez vous-même. Puis ici avec votre aide, je veux bâtir le temple de la déesse vis-à-vis la maison du dragon, pyramide en pyramide écarlate. Rouge avec la maison du dragon vis-à-vis le temple de la déesse oubliée. À cet étage, périmètre, volume, surface. Avec des millions de bisous et de chatouilles, je mets la fondation. Help build here the Forgotten Goddess Temple. I created trillions of kisses for activities such as full moon celebration, for celebration of full moon, for celebration of full moon, for celebration of the full moon, for the full moon celebration, for the full moon celebration, for the full moon celebration, and for the celebration of the equinox, and all those things which can be celebrated for the goddess. I created kisses, trillions of kisses, face to face with the Forgotten Goddess is the pyramid, the pyramid in a scarlet red, pyramid right here, scarlet red, pyramid, the scarlet red pyramid, and the car scarlet red pyramid right here, pyramid scarlet, and the house of the dragon, the scarlet pyramid right here to be constructed, built face to face with the Forgotten Goddess Temple, the house of the dragon, avec la maison du dragon, la pyramide, avec le temple de la déesse oubliée, with the Forgotten Goddess Temple, the house of the dragon, build it, trillions of kisses, stickles, rock and roll with it. I lay for the foundation of it right here, for that building right here, for the Forgotten Goddess Temple, and the house of the dragon, pyramid, from the mountain headquarters of the dancing goddess and the dragon king, Troisième, pour la Maison du Dragon. Let's go build. Forgotten Goddess Temple. And the third one, the Rainbow People's Palace. La troisième, là, Temple du Peuple. Arc-en-ciel. And that's what it is with that. So we're going to get drilling on that. And we got to get drilling on the XYZ.